Okay, teachers, welcome back to another week of classroom management by design for the primary teacher. Hopefully you are well rested, back to school. Hopefully you did your Happy New Year. If you did, I would love to hear about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back, look for that segment. That was such a fun one to create. This week, I kind of wanted to get into the reality of we are back in school for the second half of the semester. So we are going to be focusing on being sure you know your students well enough that you can identify a gift or a talent in each one of your students and why this is important. If you are new here, I am Lauren Zwiegen. I am the founder of LessonPlanToolbox.com, where we help primary teachers master classroom management easily, consistently, and probably most importantly, effectively each and every day. These segments that you're seeing every week on our blog or vlog, however you're seeing this or reading it, these are just things that I am seeing on social media or just habits and trends that are on my heart that I want to share with you. This was a big one for me because I'm always surprised at how teachers assume things about their students, but they truly don't necessarily know what gifts, talents, and interests their students may have. So I thought we would tackle this week as we head back into the second half of the year. This would be a great transitional piece to help you as their teacher get to build more of a rapport with them. If you already do, that's great. You still might want to stick around for some nuggets or even to reevaluate, see if things have changed since the beginning of the year till now, okay? But that's what this week is all about. So let's just jump into this. Every student in your classroom brings with them unique strengths, unique gifts, and unique talents to your classroom, okay? Recognizing and celebrating these qualities are not only going to boost their confidence, but also foster that supportive learning environment that you crave as the teacher. So in this segment, we are going to explore why identifying gifts is crucial, how to uncover these talents, and then strategies to nurture them effectively within the four walls of your classroom. Okay, so let's just get started, get the show on the road here. First and foremost, why identifying gifts and talents matters. This builds confidence and motivation. So when your students know their strengths, they feel valued and empowered. This self-awareness increases engagement and perseverance in those challenging tasks. It also fosters classroom inclusivity, right? So highlighting individual talents teaches students to appreciate the diversity and encourages collaboration among them and their classmates. When we're celebrating these gifts, we're encouraging that holistic growth. Recognizing a range of gifts from academic to artistic or social talents supports students in developing well-rounded sense of self, okay? Not every gift shows up in a test score. The quiet artist, the budding comedian, the problem solver all have talents that can shine when they're given the right opportunities. And it might not come out in a test score or in a letter grade. That's why this is so important. The second thing we want to cover is how to identify these gifts. Okay, we know this is important, but Lauren, how in the world do I identify these? Observation and action. Watch students during lessons. Watch them in their group activities. Watch them during playtime. Look for natural inclinations. A student who loves solving puzzles. They may have a gift for critical thinking. A student who is just that natural leader, right? Look for those things. Strengths that surface during challenges, such as a student who remains calm and helps others in a tricky situation. That's another thing to be mindful of. And you can tell students, you notice this about them. The next thing you could do is a student self-reflection, right? Ask students what they enjoy and what do they feel comfortable? What do they think they're good at? Use open-ended prompts like, what is something you're really good at? What do you love doing the most? See what they come up with. For the youngest learners, you might have to write their answers, but have a clipboard with their name and just jot, 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 jot. This one is my favorite way to get to know what my students love. It's getting input from family and peers, right? Parents and guardians can see talents that may not emerge in the classroom. So encourage the families to share insights through surveys or just casual conversations. And then peers can also identify each other's strengths through activities like compliment circles, where your students share what they admire about one another, right? So it's not just you and the student. You have families contributing, and then their friends can contribute too. The third topic we want to cover here is creating those opportunities to spotlight talent, right? Super fun if you've never done this before. It does take not a lot of work, but a little bit of work, but you will have so much fun with this. So will your students, so will your families. Talent showcases, right? So dedicate time for students to share their skills, whether it's reading a poem or showing a drawing or explaining a hobby. Have flexible lesson plans so you can incorporate choice into assignments, which allows students to use their talents to complete tasks. A book report could be written. It could be presented as a skit. It could be created as a visual infographic. Give them those options to showcase their talents. The next thing you could do is student leadership roles, right? You can assign classroom roles that align with individual strengths. For the empathetic student, they could be the peer helper. The organized student can manage your classroom materials, or you're the classroom librarian even, okay? So take their strengths, align it with a classroom job. The next thing you want to keep in mind is, how do we nurture these gifts in the classroom? Provide encouragement. Celebrate progress, not just achievement, right? For instance, if a shy student shares an idea in class, acknowledge their bravery privately. Connect talents to learning. So you can integrate students' interests into curriculum goals. They're not going to feel like they're learning, and you're going to be blown away by how many facts outside of this textbook your students actually know about certain topics when you get good at doing this. A student with a knack for storytelling can write creative pieces in language arts. That scientist can lead a classroom experiment. You're the guide on the side. The next thing you want to be sure to do is collaborate across disciplines, right? So encourage students to apply their talents in multiple areas. A student who is skilled in music might create a song to help summarize a science lesson. Think about it in that way. You're not doing too much extra. You're letting your students use their talents to add to a lesson, basically. That's the whole point of this, okay? The next thing I want to give you are just some practical tools to help you identify and track talents, okay? So strength surveys are huge, and this is when you create a simple survey with questions like, what's something you've done that made you feel proud? What is your favorite thing to learn or do in school? The next thing, this is a fun one, you can have a talent wall or a portfolio. And this is just you dedicate a part of the classroom to showcase student work, projects, or achievements, right? Alternatively, maintain a digital or physical portfolio for each student to track their own growth. Yeah, the physical one's a little bit easier for our little ones than the digital one, but you could do it either way. Goal setting sheets, we talked about this with the resolutions. These help our students to set goals based on their strengths, right? For example, I want to write a story to share with my class by the end of the month. Check in with them regularly. How are you doing on your goal? Do you still have this story ready to do? Okay, ready to share. There are challenges though, okay? We do have to talk about some challenges. Overlooked talents can happen. If you have those quiet or introverted students, they may not, probably will not, readily display their talents. So to engage them, we want to create low pressure opportunities, like just small group projects, right? Use art or writing as a medium for self-expression. Another one, this is not foreign to you, behavioral challenges. Students with disruptive behaviors often have untapped strengths. So work to uncover the why behind the behavior and redirect their energy positively. Easier said than done, I know, but it can be done. It may take time. You can do this, okay? Inside our membership, we actually dove deep into managing tough behaviors last week. That was it was last week. It was a good segment. The next topic I love talking about is the long-term impact of identifying these gifts. So you helping your students recognize their unique abilities is laying the foundation for increased self-esteem and resilience. You are creating a lifelong appreciation of diversity in others and helping them to recognize this in others. You're helping them to build strong relationships between themselves as students, and their families. That is amazing and so often overlooked in this day and age of education. We get so hardcore on those test scores, we forget about this piece of the classroom experience, okay? So identifying and nurturing the gifts and talents in each student, it's not just a thing that's nice to have. It is literally essential for building a thriving classroom community. When students know their strengths and they see them and they see that they're valued, they develop a confidence and empathy and just a sense of purpose. Take the time to observe, celebrate, and cultivate these gifts. You are going to unlock a passion that changes your students' lives. And when they are grown-ups and they think about you or they come back and they see you, they're going to thank you for this. This so often gets overlooked and it's so important. And I just think right now, as you're heading into this brand new, second half of the year, but this brand new year, 2025, what a great time to pause, reach out to family, reach out to, do your compliment circle as peers and listen and just really be present and observe what your students' interests are, what they're good at, what talents they have, what social emotional skills they bring to the table, whether it's listening, compromising, conflict resolutions, whatever it may be, okay? Okay, that's all we have for you this week. Keep coming back to us. Ooh, I have so many amazing topics coming your way. I cannot wait to share them all with you. Remember, until next week, teach, relax, repeat.